Good morning, this is Jack from Charting Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 10th of September. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your insurance. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, so far, we're seeing what I was talking about earlier this week. We've obviously got bullish leaning tape this week, particularly yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Of those, the strongest days are today and tomorrow, and we're seeing a decent start to the morning today. I was expecting to see higher highs on ES, and we're getting that. NQ, I was expecting to see a retest of this high, and we're getting pretty close to it. And unless we see a big decline before the open, the very, very nice looking bull flag channel on Qs will break up at the open today. With a target basically at a retest of this high. On RTY, I was looking higher. I was thinking we might go considerably higher with the IWM inverted head and shoulders. We might still do that, but really it's been lagging this week. And YM is retesting the highs again. Again, we've got some space to go higher on RTY. Well, on all of them really. 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was saying that I was expecting to see a period of consolidation or retracement, and really, so far, we've seen consolidation. We could go up from here. And I've got to say, I've been reviewing an awful lot of the bigger picture charts on individual stocks this morning. There's not a lot of signs. I posted one of the ones with the nice looking topping setup, which is American Express this morning. But to be honest, most of them don't have nice topping setups here. I am wondering about a leg higher. Looking at DAX and the SDX, DAX is struggling this week because and actually the whole European deal with the Trump administration is struggling this week because they made this deal and then Trump directed people to income people to start charging tariffs on the metal content as well as on the metals coming directly into the US, on the metal contents of imports coming into the US. And this has actually made things very complicated, hard to calculate. There's not really the infrastructure on the US side to calculate what they're doing. There's a lot of confusion, and of course it's really cut back on machine tools and various things being imported to the US from Europe, which included metal. So I think this may well mean that the European trade deal falls apart in the next few days. And at the moment, this is depressing the German market, particularly because, of course, the Germans are the big manufacturers and exporters. And, of course, their exports, many of them have just stopped into the US. In fact, actually, most postal services from Europe to the US have stopped. The uncertainty over tariffs is so high that most of the postal services are just refusing to deliver to the US at all. So, I mean, we'll see how that develops, but there are issues in Europe here, and they may well drag down the Americans later. On ESTX here, this could be an IHS here, rather ugly IHS, or double bottom, very ugly double bottom as well. This could, however, be an IHS breaking up, although if it is... bear with me a moment. If it is, the IHS neckline would be here. I haven't marked in the areas for it. I am thinking this looks rather more like a bear flag, but this actually isn't a bad looking IHS, and this could be breaking up with a target up here. So actually I'm going to mark that in as well. Is there much sign of that happening on the European side? Well, I don't know. I mean, the Europeans are struggling with trade to the US at the moment, which really the situation is so confused that a lot of it is effectively embargoed. We'll see how that goes. But this could be an IHS breaking up with a targeted retest the high. It's not awful quality, actually, but obviously it may well just fail into a retest the lows and in effect become a bear flag. All right, bear with me a moment. Wait a second. All right, sorry, I'd forgotten to open up a couple of charts here. Right, not an awful lot to see on the charts here in terms of the daily middle bands, where we are all comfortably above at the moment. I'm going to have a look at the 60-minute charts to talk about where we might be going. So bear with me a moment. All right. And I'm just going to open up something in the background as well. All right. On SPX, because we've seen this long consolidation, this resistance trend line here could be hit, but it's now considerably higher, and I've actually got that up in about the 6,700 area, approximately 6,650 maybe. It's we could go significantly higher. Within this Qs, I'm expecting to see a retest of this high here. Obviously, this is the main resistance trend line there, and we could go up a lot. Maybe into 600 area actually, if we were to go up and hit that trend line again. Not saying we're going to, but that is a room to the upside which has been created by this long consolidation, which has obviously lasted a few weeks. In terms of the dia chart, Dia is pretty close to this resistance trend line, but obviously we've got other options here. We could break higher into this one, possibly even into this one, although that would require a large move up. And IWM, where of course I'm watching the IHS, which is not that far away from making target. If we can actually get a bit of a boost here, we could retest this high here. Trend line resistance not far above. This isn't a better trend line here actually, but it's not awful, which we could go up to here. But if we have a look at the daily chart, the main thing I'm watching here on the upside is actually the IHS, which broke up with a target at a retest of the all-time high of 24304, made in November last year. That is a target which is getting pretty close. And is definitely makeable, but at the moment we're not showing any signs of getting there. And underneath the existing trend line, if we wait another few days, we can actually reach that target within this trend line. So I'm thinking we may well do that. Looking at DAX, we've got a little bear flag forming, I think. Not showing much signs of heading back higher, and at the moment the German markets are in some turmoil over what's happening with American exports and the European export deal with the US, which was only made a couple of weeks ago but may well be failing. Looking at Nikkei, we've gone back and retested the high as expected. This is a possible second high of a double top, or potentially we could continue higher. So it's an inflection point we'll decide, and we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed here. All right, let's have a look at bigger picture charts. We're obviously a long way above the daily middle bands at the moment. We have definitely options to go higher here. We've seen a long sideways consolidation. This has basically lasted almost a month. And potentially this could be a springboard to go higher. And we've got, if we were to do that, I'd still be looking at this as resistance, but obviously that would be significantly higher where we are now. All right, we will see how that goes. So, all right, no sign of any move down below the daily middle bands at the moment. I'll be watching for those, but there's nothing here so far. All right, looking at DX. DX, we've got a little double bottom here, which is thinking about breaking up. I'm very neutral on direction here. Looking at the currency pairs, we've got some indications in one direction. GBP USD hasn't made this target yet, and is suggesting a little higher there. USD JPY hasn't made the flag target there, and is suggesting a bit lower. But really, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I could see it go either way from here. Bigger picture, I am leaning towards seeing a retest of the low, which is in the 96.08 area on the spot price chart. Looking on ZB, ZB, we're seeing a possible bull flag forming here. 6-minute sell signal fixed, hasn't made target yet. Although got pretty close, but not close enough. Normally we'd make the full target. If we retest this high, that could increases the chances that could be the second high of a small double top. Looking at ZN, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed there too. Possible little double top taking us back to the weekly pivot area. Not been showing much sign of breaking down at the moment further, but we've got 60-minute sell signals fixed on both, which I'd be leaning towards making target. CL, still got unfinished business below at a full test of the flag target, which would be down here in the 61.35 area. Not quite made that target yet. HO, this could be a flag breaking down, but it could still be a flag still forming. RBOB, we've seen a weak 6-minute sell signal fixed, looking for some retracement here at least. But I am leaning towards lower prices on all of the oils at the moment here. NG, we've actually had a daily RSI 5 sell signal fixed here. I am wondering about a possible retest of this low. That could set up a nice looking level bottom if we were to see it. We shall see. Looking at GC, we've got on the metals here, we've got foreshadowings of seeing some retracement. We haven't actually seen much retracement yet. No obvious topping pattern here on gold, but we've got a very nice looking potential level top on SI. HG is still forming this eternal, seemingly, flag. So we'll see how that goes. Palladium and platinum. Palladium, actually, we've got a possible IHS breaking up here. I'm wondering about a move up into the 1306 area. On platinum, we've got a flag here which may well be breaking up and setting up a retest of this high. These aren't as well correlated with the other precious metals as they have been at some points. So that could go either way, really. But KC, we've got a potential level top here, and we're reaching some big resistance on the bigger picture charts. On SB, nice little move up here. We'll see how that develops. On CC, I'm still wondering about prices to the downside here. This is possible bottoming action, though. CT, nice move up here. I think this could be a double bottom, and this could be the start of a very large move up. Lumber, possible bottoming action here. ZW, I'm still leaning towards this going a little lower, and this does look like a bear flag forming. Only needs to go another handle or so, or handle and a quarter, or handle and a half down to meet the target on the bigger picture chart. On corn, possible little level top here. Wondering about that possibly maybe playing out. Soy, nothing really here on soy. Could be head and shoulders forming here. This does look like a bearish triangle here, but I'm not sure it really takes us any lower than the retest of this low. ZL, possible bull flag forming. Live cattle, we've seen a nice little retracement here. No current divergence. We've not been getting a lot of divergence here lately, but I'm leaning towards this being some kind of a bear flag, although the trend lines aren't good. HE could be topping out here for a move down to this trend line support down currently in the 90 area. We shall see how it goes. All right, let's have a look at questions. Yeah, Doug, on the just have a quick look at the bigger picture video. I was looking at your support levels on GDX there, and looking at the 50 DMA and the daily middle band. So just to mention, watch out for that in the metal section on there. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap, guys. Everyone take care, and I will catch you guys tomorrow as usual.